Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel again. So I'm seeing a few people have watched the custom review Ultimate, and I decided, what the heck, I might as well show you a few more. Disclosure, I've become obsessed with the idea of changing Elites into Ultimates, or finding ones that are out there, include some custom ones. Now these ones are more or less just updates, so I'm just going to basically start with showing you Bob Backlund. It's the Elite style, of course. Alright, and then here's his Ultimate counterpart. Now when I got him in the mail, his arm fell out for a second, but they're poppable back in, so I'm sure they used a character where you can switch out the arms. But here is the Ultimate, and I do apologize, I'm trying to get the lighting better. Yeah, it's not really a way to make that better. So you can see, I'll move it down a little closer. Got this from the Bay, as we call it. You can see the lower legs are, again, just basically his Elite style. But I don't care for drop down hips, so to me it looks great. A little bit of a scuff mark here and there on there compared to the original Elite one. But at the same time, the person who's doing these, apparently they're at the tail end of doing their customs. They said that you can't physically do it no more. So it is unfortunate, but I did ask them to put together a Bob Orton Ultimate and a Ricky Dragon Steamboat WCW look Ultimate for the different feds I have, territory feds I have. And then here is Shelton. This figure, I remember people were really happy about it. I kind of don't expect us to see an updated Shelton Benjamin. To his current status. It seems like this is kind of like his, Ruthless Aggression peak era, and really there's just nothing in the pipeline. But how good is it for an Ultimate? And it's the same head scan and the same skin tone, and so here is now the Ultimate, and we can see everything's pretty much there. He didn't have any tattoos on this one, so, and there's also, the arms are a little more jacked on this one than skinny on this one, so this one's a little undertoned anyway. They did switch the knee pads down to the shorter knee pads. Again, doesn't have to have drop down hips for me to be satisfied. I hate the drop down hips method. Arms, butterfly joints, I mean, just awesome. When he does this like T-bone suplex, you can get really in there. So really, really well done. Well worth it for me. It costs a little bit more than your standard Elite, so this is, make no mistake about it. Ultimates for customization, that's can be a pretty spendy hobby. I'd probably spend a few $100s over the course of a couple days, even picking up more people, which I can't wait to show off as well. So, and again, you're going to find this in the store. You might find this one in the store, this Elite version, but you won't find the Ultimate. They don't make him an Ultimate. And then the last one I got that I basically updated, and I also want to reveal one that's not part of the Elites already, completely custom, really well done, especially with the help of the AEW counterpart. But we all know this Booker T. Alright, not the biggest fan of the attire choice. I understand it's the NWO. He wore it for like a week, but it was our only updated Booker T. I did see a really cool Ultimate King Booker on Macari, but unfortunately it had long been since sold. And then when I was looking at the counterpart to this one, the Ultimate, I thought maybe they just popped the arms, or they took the arms off or something and put it in there, but no, all they did was they actually painted them themselves. So try to get that picture the best I can. You can see those are actually bigger than they should be. They're a little bit more, they're still really good. They're not fine tipped like a computer machine would do, definitely, but I mean, look at the Ultimate style though. Torso's not as ripped, that's fine. Booker was not always, he was fit, but he was never jacked. So this is a perfect example. Again, playability is there. They had to be posable, they had to be playable, they had to be, obviously not hard play, but the idea is if I want to do a bookend, I want to be able to like latch in, sucker, we're coming for you, Hulk Hogan. No, I'm not about to say that line. But the point is, these are really, I'm all in on it. I mean, I'm checking eBay all the time. I'm looking for anybody who might know how to customize. There's definitely some. Obviously, I can't buy everybody, despite the lack of my wall here showing I collect a lot of stuff. But I'm all about, turning certain individuals into ultimates. Let you know, a spoiler test. I actually found a decent test. Wasn't an ECW looking test I really wanted, but it was definitely something to update from his Ruthless Aggression days. It looks great in the Attitude Era shelf with Stone Cold, Ken Shamrock. Spoiler, I got Ken Shamrock Ultimate now as well. And so I basically got 5 brands. I've got like the WWF, as I call it, which got like Terry Funk, Muhammad Ali, just kind of like those older guys, Zeus, that kind of stuff, even though I know it was WWF at that point as well. Then to differentiate, I have the WWF shelf, which is going to have like Bret Hart, Shawn, Sid, almost like the new gen, Yokozuna, until, a placement holder until we get the ultimate Yokozuna. But, and of course Bob Backlund will go on that shelf as well. Then I got the Attitude Era, which is where Booker's going to likely be. I know he wasn't part of technically the Attitude, he was near the end of it. Shelton would go on the Ruthless Aggression Era shelf. And then, of course, this one, though, at first I saw it, I wasn't, I kind of just glanced over it, I was like, yeah, no, I don't know. What head do they use? Do they use another Kenny Dykstra head? And then I looked and I was like, oh, they use the AEW head. Who am I talking about? The Rocket Owen Hart. And for a free pen style, this is really well done. I mean, yeah, you can tell it was hand painted. You can even see that they even painted the legs to match the skin tone. The whole thing has been painted to match the Owen Hart AEW head. Just phenomenal. Perfect. This is pretty much the attire he wore. I do believe it's supposed to be his King of the Ring tournament. And he's got the broken heart on the boots down there. I mean, obviously, if you look at it really, really up close, of course, the broken heart with the slash through it. If you look really, really close, you're going to nitpick it and be like, well, it's not fine tipped, this and that. But on a shelf from far away, I mean, that's Owen Hart. That's going to be perfect next to the Bret Hart, especially when I get the, I already have the Target exclusive one. When they make the pink, or the Monday Night Wars Bret Hart. Of course, obviously, he wasn't really wearing this kind of look by then. He had shorter hair by then. He was a little bulkier by then. So, if someone makes one of those and I can afford to find it, or if I can outbid people on it, I will do that. I'm just looking here. He is fully playable. A little tight in the legs. What's nice, though, what's interesting about this one, though, is it has drop-down hips. So whatever body they use, it could have been just used a Bret Hart from Target, I'm not sure. It has drop-down hips. But because of the paint, because of the customization, it doesn't just plop down like some other figures do. So this, like I said, the Ultimates, they're, even if they were sealed or if they were, Mattel made, most people aren't going to play with Ultimates like they would a basic figure or an Elite figure. I'm telling you right now, if your play style with these things really is, battling, then you stick to the Elites. Stick to the Elites, you stick to the basics if you're just like bang, 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 because they're going to get messed up. Your Ultimates, they're awesome. They can hold cool moves, they can do certain stuff, but you have to understand you have to find delicacy to them, because if you're too rough with them, something could happen. Some of these do have arms that pop out. Some of these have drop-down hips that could catch wrong and could have a problem with it. But like, for instance, like, if you're trying to pose, Shelton ready to do his split, T-bone suplex, he can get up there perfectly and then fold over, wham, right? Or Bob Backlund's with the butterfly joints, you can literally get that crossface chicken wing on there, arm back there, his arm's back enough, it's locked in place. I mean, he ain't going nowhere, and all he's gonna do now is basically tap out or pass out. So I mean, it's gonna be great for like recreating the Bret Hart moment when Backlund won the belt. You young people today, or if you have Diesel, if you bought the ring, just boom, kick him in the gut, jackknife, boom, there's your new champion. So I'm excited for these. Like I said, I'm commissioned a few more. I'll be posting the other ones up. There's still quite a few including some old WCW types that I'm going to acquire. One of the guilty pleasures I plan to do with this is once I have 60 Ultimate figures, I'm still waiting on the Usos, of course, but once I have 60 official Ultimate figures, or in that style, I'm going to do World War III. I'm going to build one of my other new gen rings. I have 3 rings. I'm going to get a picture of it. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to use my dice technique where I roll the dice, and if you get a 1, you get eliminated, and see who wins World War III. So if anybody's interested in knowing the results of that, you know, I tend to have a day off where I can just kind of unwind. At my other job, I can't really do much. The clients are asleep. I can play video games, I guess, but I mean, that gets kind of boring if you play the game over and over again. So a lot of times I just kind of simulate wrestling matches, or I put together wrestling cards, little cool things like Royal Rumble. Like I just did a Royal Rumble where Bret Hart, out of 20 men from all the generations in the Ultimate, ended up last letting Batista to win. And again, it was all random, done by dice. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. Check back again. I'll have more Ultimates in the future. I'll probably only do one detailed video of it. Again, I understand, you know, these are not something you're going to find at the store. These are custom. So I'm not trying to, you know, not trying to go neater, but, you know, I'm telling you right now, though, if you get a chance to get some customs, or if you know somebody who can make customs, feel free to tell them to send them my way. You can find, you know, send me a message on YouTube or whatever it is. But, yeah, if you like the posing, if you like just how they look, I personally like how they look better because they just look more realistic than this super ripped up jack torso 24/7. Especially the Mr. T bodies. It seems like everyone's using the Mr. T because, let's face it, they only made 2 guys African American so far, except for The Rock, but The Rock's not dark like this. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, if we do get more of a variety in the future. I'm surprised that a Booker T was not in the plans, the immediate plans, anytime soon. I know we're going to get Bobby Lashley. That's going to look pretty cool. But, yeah, not to have Booker T, not to have any really WCW guys. Like Steiner, I'm still, you know, I've seen the Steiner on eBay, but I'm kind of just going to wait because they've already said they've put a new torso and a new arm mold. So if someone wants to take one of those apart and throw it on an Ultimate, I'll probably be all for it. But maybe there's one coming down in the future. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I know that since there's a lot of months until we start seeing this new stuff show up, like Elite 105 is not scheduled for like late October or mid-October, so that's still a little ways away. So I got no problem, you know, splurging a little bit, getting some Ultimates that probably won't see Elites ever. Well, we know, or Elites, Ultimates, we know for a fact we'll never see him in any type of Mattel category unless they take over AEW. So in the meantime, hope this is a informative video. Hope you like the look of those guys. If you think they look really awesome, they are. I mean, even, you know, the Backlund, he's not super, you know, jacked up, but he's definitely a little bit more cut, which is fine because, I mean, I want like a Backlund that's, you know, still tough looking. He still looks tough. He can still drop down, do his little carryover. He's got his moves. Like I said, the playability has got to be there. I did order an Edge today from someone on Macari, but they said that when they were loading it up, the leg broke off. I don't know if that's true or not, if they decided that they didn't want to sell it to me for the price we agreed upon. It had a butterfly joint, but I'm hoping that maybe Best of Series 3 or something like that, if they ever announce a Series 3 Best of Ultimate Edition, that maybe that Edge will be there and we can actually get a butterfly joint Edge. Of course, with him losing his rights to his box around the R, or whatever it is, losing the rights to making that, then I don't know if they're going to, you know, if they're even going to try to attempt to do that, or if they're allowed to do that, because technically all they're doing is just re-releasing something that already was there. But if the rights have changed, then I guess there could be a legal problem. So anyway, until next time, see you later.